get started, I need you guys to help me out. When I show you this nice blue paper, what emotions do you think of? Nice. Nice? That's a good one. Anything else?
Calm.
Huh?
Calm.
Calm. That's a good one. What about this red? Passion. Anger. Fears, I think I heard. Lots of different things. What about this green? That's not an emotion. Huh? Jealousy. Huh? Eco-friendly. Okay. Well, this is kind of what got us started on our project, which has to do with color. Obviously, when we see colors, we think of lots of different emotions. So, our study has to do with the effects of color on mood. And I'm Whitney. This is Olivia, Kara, and Jashlene, and we worked together through the semester to study the effects of color on mood. And Olivia is going to start off by telling us a little bit about the previous research that's been done.
Okay, so the theory that we chose to use when doing our research was Petty and Cacioppo's elaboration likelihood model, which basically states that there are two ways of processing things, the peripheral route and the central route. Central route would be like you're really focusing on an issue to make a decision, whereas peripheral is like the sounds and the sights around you that impact your decision. So we thought that color might have a peripheral impact on people's moods, and that's what we set out to study. So first, we looked at what other research had already been done. We found some study on moods. Basically, like, different people looked at, like, does a positive mood increase a person's susceptibility to, like, insignificant information? Does a sad mood affect a person's cognition? Does humor affect memory? So we found different studies done on these different mood factors. Then we only found a couple that were just on color. The Willis and Locke were the researchers that they used color overlays for disabled children, children with learning disabilities, to look and see did the color affect their learning, improve it, or was it not even useful. Then we also found some studies on color and mood together. Probably the most significant one was done by a man named Wexner, and Wexner he did basically what Whitney did. He had different colors here and would ask the people to list what emotions they thought went with that color, and he was trying to see if there was a direct correlation. So a couple people did some follow-up studies that were very similar to that, and basically they found that there were colors that were associated with different moods. So we thought, perfect, this is just what we want to see, but does it actually impact somebody's mood, not just make them think of a mood? So this led us to our hypothesis. First we picked two colors that were on the opposite end of that association spectrum. So like you guys said, red makes you think of passion and excitement. Blue typically makes people think of calm, peaceful. So we chose red and blue to be our colors and came up with our hypothesis. Our hypotheses, we said that we thought dark red environmental color would create a negative mood in participants, and dark blue environmental color would create a positive mood in participants. So now, Jashlene's going to tell us a little bit about what we did for our experiment.
All right. So our methods. What we had was the three different colors, which we chose were red, the blue, and just a neutral light setting. We had 3 different nights in which we set up. The first night we had the red cellophane over the lights, and we had the participants in the first group come in. They filled out a survey for their pre-mood, and we just, basically showed them the film. It was about 4 minutes long. After they saw the film, they had the opportunity to fill out the survey in which they showed what they felt like after they had watched the film. And we did this, of course, like I said, the 3 nights, and so they did this for the red, blue, and the neutral setting. The movie that we selected was The Red Balloon by Albert Lamorisse. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is what our survey looked like for the pre and post. Now we're going to have Kara talk about the results.
Well, there was actually 3 nights of experiments. We actually had 4 because we ran the white experiment twice because the first time we ran it there was an equipment malfunction. So we took all of our results of those experiments and we ran them through the SPSS online, the program, SPSS program, and we did paired sample t-tests on each one. And so we took the means from the pre and post survey of each of those experiments and we ran them. And as you can see, the means don't show anything really significant. There's no statistical significance. And you can go to the next slide. A reason for this is, well, we thought this was shocking because research had shown that red usually led to, excitement or aggression, and blue would lead to calmness, but ours found nothing. And one reason for this might be because there was less than 30 participants in each experiment, and usually it needs to be 30 participants in order to be statistically significant. Also, we did a convenience sample. People came for extra credit. They came because a friend asked them to, and this may have affected their mood and may have skewed the results. Another limitation is that there was an equipment malfunction, like I said, on the first white experiment. The balloon used in the clip, which was normally red, was actually black in one of the experiments. Another limitation is the length of the experiment. It was actually 10 minutes about that the participants were in the lighted rooms, and we think that maybe if they had been in the rooms longer with the different colors, their moods would have been affected. The last limitation is that the film clip, which was supposed to be neutral in emotion, some participants found it to be humorous, which may have skewed the results. Now Whitney will present the future research.
So having gone through all of this, we were a little disappointed because obviously we didn't find anything that was very significant. We thought people's moods were going to change after they were in a room that had either red light or blue light or whatever, but they didn't. And so if we were going to redo our experiment, like Carrie just said, we would probably have participants stay in the room for longer, because I remember when Olivia and I were setting up for the red night, when we were putting red cellophane over the lights, and we set everything up. We just kind of sat down and we were relaxing in there, and after maybe 40 minutes in there, I was like, man, Olivia, I need to leave. Like, I felt really anxious or frustrated in that room, and so once I went outside and I stayed out there, I felt a little better. So we think that maybe having participants in there for longer would have a greater effect. Also, because our film clip ended up being funny, which we didn't expect when we were choosing it, we would probably choose either a silent film clip or a completely new one, maybe something that's informational, like an infomercial on TV. It's not funny, not sad, not angry, not anything, just informational. However, it also might help if we tried a completely new approach. We were thinking it would be interesting to have dyads, which is just two people, in a lighted room of whatever color, having a conversation, and then interaction analysis would be analyzing their conversation afterwards to see maybe if they weren't getting along so well, or if they were talking about negative things or positive things. We would look at how those, what they were talking about, or how they were talking, would vary across the different light conditions. So that's what we did this semester, and yeah, that's all. Thank you.